Welcome to highlights from the penultimate round of the WTCR Esports Championship as we would head to the legendary Suzuka circuit. It was Spence Banky, of course, the championship leader, starting from pole position ahead of Gianmarco Fiducci and his teammate Florian Haase, and the race down towards the first corner would see him hanging on to that race lead. Meanwhile, background, Martin Barner was trying to get down the inside of Axel Vermeulen heading through the first and second corner, as well as Alessandro Ottaviani trying to fight off the Mirror Esports driver of David Naj. As they would head up through the S's section towards Dunlop, they would all return to single file, but it wasn't long until we got to the hairpin, and then there was drama. Alessandro Ottaviani straight down the inside of Juan Manuel Gomez trying to open the door, but that move would not work and would potentially leave him vulnerable to David Naj behind. Vermeulen out wide, Martin Barner was able to make his way through in the entrance to the Casio triangle. Vermeulen trying to fight that one off, but by the time they'd left the final chicane, it was the Mirror Esports driver ahead. Alessandro Ottaviani would be able to get down the inside of Gomez, courtesy of a mistake from the Argentinian driver. However, coming straight back onto the apex, Alessandro Ottaviani was denied the opportunity to make progress. A technical issue for Max Pfeiffer would drag his Dürr Esports car out of the race, promoting various drivers further up inside the top 10 of that all-important reverse grid. Alessandro Ottaviani straight down the inside of Gomez, going through the SS section with an absolutely blistering move to move up to 6th position and dragging David Naj also into the fight. A move to the inside from Adam Pinsesh to try and grab the 9th position away from Axel Vermeulen after the issue for Max Pfeiffer, however, was not able to do so. Meanwhile, ahead of all of that, the two Mirror Esports drivers would switch, David Naj allowing Martin Barner to make his way through down the inside of turn 1. Axel Vermeulen out wide go through the first and second corner, and that would give Adam Pinsesh the position of 9th. However, he'd still be inside the top 10 reverse. Meanwhile, the top 2 were starting to pull away. Spence Banky and Gianmarco Fiducci pulling out clear of Florian Haase. Meanwhile, Pliszka having to deal with his old teammate Alessandro Ottaviani straight around the outside of the Casio triangle. An absolutely superb move for his new Veloce colours, as Alessandro Ottaviani would move his way inside the top 5. It was a difficult circuit, and even drivers like Gergo Baldi were struggling after issues in qualifying. He was just making his way into the final points paying position before a couple of mistakes would drag him a bit further back. Meanwhile, Gianmarco Fiducci was throwing everything at our race leader, who was unable to do so. Spence Banky taking another win on his championship charge. On then to the reverse grid race, where for the second consecutive round it was Axel Vermeulen starting from the reverse grid pole. A good launch from him would have him holding the lead down towards that first apex ahead of Adam Pinsesh and then the Mirror Esports duo. Behind all of that though, there was plenty of side-by-side. Alessandro Ottaviani and Petr Pliszka trying to switch positions heading through that second apex, and once again the battles would take us up towards the SS section where everyone was vying for position as they would all start to head single file. Pliszka around the outside through the third corner, and then would have the inside for the fourth. Plenty of tussles up towards the hairpin, including this one. Florian Haase way out wide, completely misjudging the corner, and would drop back behind his teammate Spence Banky. Axel Vermeulen had lasted more than 2 corners in the race lead, but he was having to deal with a lot of pressure from behind, a trio of Hungarians being led by Adam Pinsesh trying to fight their way past. Alessandro Ottaviani was seeing another one of the Fordzilla cars making a mistake in the first corner. This time it was Pliszka running wide. He would gain the position. Gianmarco Fiducci would almost find his way through, but was unable to do so as we head into the S's section. David Naj trying to find a way past Adam Pinsesh, getting pushed into it a little bit by his teammate Martin Barner, and he would get down the inside as they would depart the hairpin. However, the drive off the corner was solid from Pinsesh, and he was able to hang on to second position by the time they got into Spoon, and then it was just his teammates behind. Gianmarco Fiducci was trying to find his way past Pliszka. The defensive line was being taken by the Italian, but unfortunately Gianmarco Fiducci got wrong-footed, heavy defence from the Fordzilla driver, and then it was Spence Banky, championship leader, making his way past. Fiducci though would make a mistake going into the second apex at Spoon, into the rear end of the championship leader, opening the door for Florian Haase to come through, and Sven Mackenberg would almost give it a go. Florian Haase was unable to make his way past Gianmarco Fiducci, same with Sven Mackenberg versus Spence Banky. Around the outside at 130R, the championship leader was able to hang on to the position, and then a lap later, once everything had calmed down a little bit, Gianmarco Fiducci pulled over to one side, allowed Florian Haase to pass, and of course Spence Banky returning at least some of those positions lost. Alessandro Ottaviani was down the inside of Gomez, more paint being shifted between the pair of these as towards the front it was getting very feisty indeed. Pinsesh with the door open coming down towards the first corner, and that was Martin Barner and David Naj both going through. Naj first, straight down the inside through the first first bit. Martin Barner trying to pounce on the scraps and was able to do so going through the second apex. Then the two Dura Esports drivers would switch positions. A well-timed one from Florian Haase to make sure that Bence Banki got through, but not Gianmarco Fiducci. At the front, it was where it was all kicking off. David Noj straight down the inside of Axel Vermeulen, slamming straight into his door. And then it was Martin Barner who was making his way past. Up into second position, David Noj tried to hang on to third down the inside of Adam Pintes, who was out a little bit too wide heading through the first and second corner. And it would still be Mirror Esports second and third in the race. Meanwhile, Gianmarco Fiducci is making this pass on Florian Haase, going through the Casio triangle around the outside with a superb move. And then there was this final lap of the race. Martin Barner trying to go for the race lead. Vermeulen there, the two of them coming together into the first corner. And then count these, Martin Barner down 1 position, 2 positions, 3 positions, and the final lap would not get much better for the Hungarian as Petr Pliška was over the rear end of him, heading down into Spoon, straight down the inside, heading through the second apex. Bang! Off the road goes the Mirror Esports driver of Martin Barner, and then it got even worse. Alessandro Ottaviani straight down the inside into the Casio triangle, but controversial as it was Axel Vermeulen across the line first to win the second race at Suzuka.